Hello, and welcome to Nice and Blunt. Uh, Getting it in super late. This one's for the sickos. This one's for either the regular West Coast people that are just still up at midnight. It's not even midnight. It's not even 11:30. It's 11:27 to be precise. Still not quite bedtime. So we're gonna hop into at least one SuperFlex draft, maybe a second if we get enough people asking for a second. Then maybe we'll enter the Frenchie. I still haven't done any of those Frenchie Superflex, but we'll probably just do a second field general. More likely than not. But before we get into it, just a reminder for everyone checking out the replay, that's probably the majority in the morning. We do have a little deal for you. Promo code BLUNT gets you $50 in bonus funds after you play your first 5. So you play your first puppy, you get to play another 10 on me, or 2 BBM entries, whatever you would like. You also get your first deposit matched up to $1,000. And during the NBA season, I believe there's still a free gimme pick available. That one, terms apply, but the other two are guaranteed. And reminder, the link to sign up is in the description down below. Promo code BLUNT on sign up. But that's done. Let's move on. We're here for a field general. So it's in the title, SuperFlex for sure. We're going to hop in. I'll give you a little countdown. I'm on a 5-second delay, so I'll give you a 10-second countdown. And then once we hop in, we'll check in with the chat and get things rolling. I will be joining the $3 field general. 20-second pick clock in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 10 spots left. Definitely room for it if you're here. Come on down. But love them late night lobbies. You would think it would be easier. But if most of y'all are in here, I can't imagine it's going to be that easy. But Fancy Dog, the number 2 like, appreciate you, brother. We're already up to 7 likes, 12 viewers. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully you checked me out earlier this evening with Jiri Football. That was a very, very fun stream. We drafted an Eliminator. We drafted a Pit Bull. And then we also drafted a Pomeranian. 3 drafts in that one in 2 hours. And looked like it had a really good turnout. So ideally, if you're wondering where I was, you noticed yesterday's stream when I told you to watch Jiri's channel at 7:30. Or you saw the post redirecting you when it was live. Hopefully you checked that out. And if not, you can check out the replay. Or tonight, we also have the return of Jiri on this channel tomorrow at 7:30 on Nice and Blunt. I'll be hosting, and we'll be doing the same thing. We'll be drafting a Eliminator, a Pitbull, and if he can stick around for the third, we'll also draft a Pomeranian. But where are we sitting at? We still have 3 spots open. This one got up to about like 4 spots remaining and then has kind of settled. It is a bit later, so it is what it is. It's the $3 contest, so I think it still has a chance, but obviously the Pomeranian maybe has more of a likelihood to fill. So you know what I'll do at the moment? I'll be fully transparent. We will also enter a Pomeranian and see where that sits. And just in case the other one doesn't fill, then we'll, at worst, multi-table, but we'll just stick with whichever one fills first. So I'm hopping into a $3 pound. There's only 2 spots in this one. So that one might be the move. I might just do both, though. I think I'll probably just do both. Okay, here's what I'll do. The Pomeranian has currently filled. This timer is ticking down. If we're still sitting at 9 out of 12 after, the first or second pick, then maybe we just dip and we only do one at a time. But y'all are definitely in here waiting on the field general, so I'm not gonna bail just yet. We will see what happens in the meantime. But let's pull that one up. I got pick 7. And I don't recognize many of y'all in there. I see P Punch, Rocco Jamaica. Not quite sure about anyone else, but yeah, the field general is just sitting tight at 9 out of 12. So um let me see what the chat wants to do. Here we are. Imagine that P Punch. What are the odds? Nice and Blanco's live right after it's meant to be. Who was just on? I had to dip away from YouTube, to be quite honest. Let's go for sure. If my therapist lived with me, she wouldn't let me do this. uh, maybe keep that. Maybe take that in for a moment, P Punch. Sometimes it's good to pace yourself, but not sure what that is fully in reference to. Jiri is a cool guy. Definitely a good time whenever we're live with Jiri. We're on the clock. I don't love the Jonathan Taylor. We took a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown already. You know what? Fuck it. I'm taking Genty. Gonna take Genty. And like I said, if we get to 2 picks and that field general is still locked at 9, here's what I will do. I'm going to start a poll if we dip out of that field general. And the question is going to be, is the second draft just a second Pomeranian right now or after this one is over? Because I'm guessing there's like 5 of you maybe waiting in that lobby, and I don't think many people got a chance to hop into this one. So I don't really want to be live for too long. Not gonna lie, not sure if I'm doing many team reviews tonight, but I wanted to give y'all a chance to hop in. And that Pomeranian that we're currently drafting doesn't have many of y'all in it. All right. I am on. Wow, Nico goes 17. Interesting. I mean, it's not that unique, but I'm gonna take Hampton. We're just gonna take both of them. All right. Looks like somebody even dipped out of that field general. So here's the poll question. I'm gonna leave the field general. And the question is Pomeranian now or later? And if we get an overwhelming response for one direction over the other, we'll let a few votes trickle in. We'll just start it right away. But if not, we can just do it like normal. But what the fuck happened here? What the fuck? This is a weird board. What the hell? This is a regular Pomeranian. And what the fuck? Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Josh Allen. P Punch got Puka and Ken Walker. Haven't seen that in forever. What the fuck is going? What am I watching right now? Haven't seen something like this in quite some time. The Amon-Ra Nico, the CMC Pickens over Saquon. What the fuck? Yo, P Punch must be excited to go Puka, Ken Walker, Rashi Rice. Pretty interesting. Um, I kind of just want to take the fall on McBride a little bit. I never take McBride, but why not? We get the little bring back the Genty Vegas Raiders versus the McBride Arizona Cardinals. You'd expect a bit of a tight end battle in that matchup, so that should be fun. But this is a fun, interesting lobby. It looks like so far the poll 3-1 out of 4 votes so far say later. We will hold off for now. But definitely we'll do a second draft. Because damn, this is a weird lobby. It's also funny the distribution of players in this one. Like the back 5 are all badgeless. There's only 2 silver badges in this one. I still have a red badge. I'm not at 2,000. I'm not as degen as some of the other degens. On the clock, though, I mean, why not just take Lad? But this is a weird one. This is a strange one. I'll stick with it. I'll go Lad McConkey. Haven't taken a receiver yet. Not many I like, but another excuse to take Herbert. Why not? Why the fuck not? Okay. I've been in 3 straight Superflex drafts with Nez tonight. You're good and you don't have to double draft because no worries. All badgeless on the back end. Yeah. Very, very interesting dynamic here. I think I'm in the field. Which one are you? Did I miss you, Anthony? Apologies if I missed you. Don't know if I see you. Good night, Vitrano. Linden 13. Don't know if I see Linden. Oh, London 13. Yeah. Yeah, that one was wild. The Jefferson London start with Devontae Smith, Tedro McMillan. So pick 12, just going full wide receiver, 4 rounds deep. Didn't have to, but I appreciate you. Fancy Dog and I had someone grab Amon-Ra at the 2 spot literally an hour ago. Bold. Did they take him over Gibbs, or did Gibbs go 1 and they took him over Bijan? Interesting. Am I just going to take another DJ Moore? Why not? I like his matchup week 17. I'll tell you that. Don't fear the Miami Dolphins. Vitrano has a channel. He's right next to me. Yeah, Vitrano. Definitely. Is he J.N. Flitch or CDA Suave? But I did notice that Vitrano, shout out Vitrano, subscribe over at Vitrano's channel over there. Not sure I saw a live stream, but absolutely check him out. Excited to have you in the chat today. Fancy Dog says, I backed out of the Pomeranian. That's fair. I'll be honest, I'm a little high tonight. I'm a little faded right now. I think we're building a fun team. Very interesting lobby in this one. But I think so far it's coming together. We do not have a Bengal, so I think we're going to pass. I mean, Caleb's on the thumbnail, but there's no options for him. Fuck it. I'll go. Double elite tight end. I never take McBride, so I kind of don't do it because I think the team is kind of dead in the first place. But like, let's go bully tight end today. I don't think I've taken a single bully tight end like this. Like, I'm starting to think that McBride is a pretty solid pick, but I never take him. Excuse me. I'm starting to think Tyler Warren, who I just took there, is a very solid pick, but I don't think I've ever taken him as the second. And today's a day we're gonna get weird. Like I said, I'm very high right now, so why not try it? I've never attempted it. This lobby's crazy. We see Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott go off the board before Joe Burrow's taken. I don't really know what's happening. Weird shit. That team at 12 did get Beisheltut and Quinshon Judkins at 60-61. Very interesting. Where'd I put my... I think this is my mug. Yeah. Pretty sure it was Fancy Dog, Amon Ra. I went Gibbs and Peanut was at 5. Sweet. At the moment, everyone's mostly voting for later in the poll. It's definitely 2-1. So we'll wait on the second draft. Yeah, best ball summer for sure. Coming in hot. We're back on the clock, and Alec Pierce is still here. Damn. All the badgeless on that side of the board. None of them have Herbert. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go Alec Pierce with the fall. We got double Indy. Now, they are going to be at Cleveland that week. That's not ideal, but I have a shit ton of Justin Herbert. I'll push it and see what happens. Who the fuck knows what's going to come off the board around this turn? Are they trying to stack? Do they care? I'm a bit more curious than anything, but T-Law goes to the Brian Thomas drafter. All of them passed on Hampton. All of them passed on Ladd. Will all of them pass on Justin Herbert? What's up, Shamrock? Welcome. Your boy is faded. We held it together for 2 hours with Cheery earlier. Held it together. But coming in hot on this one. Rico off the board. Would have liked Rico as a pivot option. QJ off the board as well. Herbert does go to King. Calorie takes him at a discount. Good for you. The right move, probably. But I can still make this work, and I'm not taking another Arizona Cardinal, but I will take Mahomes here. Week 17 should be healthy against the Chargers at SoFi indoor game. Mahomes can absolutely dominate in that week. So if I'm going to not have Herbert available, I'll pivot. There are still some backstacks available. I didn't get Rashi on this team. The P-Punch. The P-Punch snipe. I'm sorry, brother. I apologize. But there's a week 17 game I'm eligible to chase. Game tight, smashing that like. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. At least P-Punch already has Drake May. He's not dead at quarterback, but I'm sure he would have liked a Patrick Mahomes. All the Herbert shares make sense. I have 30% Herbert through 70 drafts so far in the summer contests. I might have a reason to pump the brakes a little bit and just see if I can just try to get him in the 8th round a little more often than just take him in the 7th. Herbert's just become my go-to click in the seventh when I'm not sure what to do. It's just like I could pull up Rico Dowdle and just have, a massive commitment to him. I'm already pretty high on Rico. Don't want to do that too often. Rico's usually there in the eighth. I'll just take Herbert, and that way, if Quentin Johnston's still available, I can go in that direction. Game tight, F that, push it to 50. I mean, it's it's starting to trend that direction. Every time I'm on somebody else's stream too, I'm just taking Justin Herbert most of the time. I'm gonna go Xavier Worthy. We can't take Laporta. I already have McBride. Already have Tyler Warren. I know. I that's what I've been saying on other people's streams. Like on Goofy Chicken's stream, I forced him on every team. I was like, this is clearly the pick. I was very locked in at that point in time, and at least understand he has the same bye week as Jaden Daniels, Trevor Lawrence, and Josh Allen. And based on ADP, it's actually very easy that if you take two quarterbacks out of like the 8, the 9, the 10 slot in the first 8 rounds, they're all usually on this side of the board. Like they're usually on the right end. And it's actually very easy to double tap a week 7 bye based on the ADP. So keep that in mind. But for the price, Herbert is gonna fucking crush. I have so many Chargers. My exposures are really, really weighted in that direction. Is Herbert that accurate of a passer? Do you realize like what he did as a rookie, as a sophomore? Like dog doesn't stop. I mean, we took a break, Jiri. I did take a break, collected my thoughts, collected my mental clarity. But yeah, we're back. Somebody asked if I was gonna go again. I said I would, and I'm a man of my word. Pittman's still on the board. Not bad. Kind of want to take Michael Pittman. Kind of want to take Travis Kelce as well. But my running back room is pretty fucking thin before the cliff. So we learned our lesson. I mean, hopefully we learned our lesson, Jiri. The last time we were in this situation, we did not get a running back at 129. 127 might not be any different. So I don't know if I'm going to get a running back in the next round. And given the Bucky Irving situation, Kenneth Gainwell is one of the best clicks on the board. So I need running back. I went bully tight end. I can't ignore it for too long. But we got Mahomes, we got Worthy, we got Ladd and Hampton. 2 Chargers versus 2 Chiefs in week 17. I have 2 Colts. They're against the Browns. I have DJ Moore. He's against the Miami Dolphins. And then we also have the Ashton Genty, Trey McBride bring back indoors the Arizona versus Las Vegas game. Interesting team, fun squad. Kenneth Gainwell against the Rams. Maybe not the best matchup, to be honest with you. Their run defense, actually very tough. I just did a BBM. Bucky fell to 62. Damn. Top of the 6th round. I could see it. Yeah, for sure. It's what's shocking still about it to this day is the fact that Kenny G is not moving up the board very much. I mean, Sean Tucker's getting a little bit of a bump, but Kenny G ain't moving at all. Consistently round 10. Nobody seems to care. Not sure why. I'll keep taking him. It's like my Herbert stance. My go-to pick in round 10, even if it's at the expense of passing on Pittman, who I think is actually a very, very good click. Even at the expense. Structurally, if you need running back, you gotta go Kenny G. If you're me, you gotta go Kenny Gainwell. Damn, Jonathan Brooks also off the board. That's unfortunate, but that's what I expected. The only running back left is Tyrone Tracy. Had I not taken Kenneth Gainwell, I would be screwed. For the points, I think I just need someone like Malik Willis soon. I mean, I can't go tight end. Running back with Tyrone Tracy, I guess, but I'm willing to pass. I don't know how elite he is. I'll go Malik Willis just to get someone in the lineup. I'm a little concerned that maybe leaning on Mahomes so much we don't have anyone week 1. You know, with the week 5 bye, at the very least they probably ease in Mahomes a little bit in terms of like his rushing ability. That's what was carrying him to such high production last season. So Mahomes for sure could miss time early or just at least just not be quite 100%. You know, could have a slow start. Malik Willis locked in to starts early on. I forget his schedule. Maybe I might bring that up. Yeah, in a separate window. I don't want to pivot from the board. But let me check out the Dolphins schedule. Week 1 at Las Vegas. Week 2 at San Francisco. Week 3 versus the Chiefs. But Mahomes at the Dolphins week 3. That's gonna crush. That should. And then at Minnesota, that's tough. Week 5 is versus Cincinnati. Yeah, when Mahomes is on bye, we get the Bengals game. Fuck yeah. Mahomes at the Malik Willis, excuse me, at the Bengals should run all over them. Whether it's in garbage time or leading them to a win. Bengals defense is that bad. It's not possible. But fuck you, J.N. Flitch. You sniped Daniel Jones? Fuck you. Damn it. If this draft was just a few days ago, I would have been hammering Khalil Shakir right there. However, Huhames reminded us he went through tightrope surgery recently, has an ankle injury he's recovering from, and at the moment is not ready to practice. So there's a reason to maybe fade Khalil Shakir. He goes to the Kincaid, Josh Allen drafter. They passed on DJ Moore for Bucky Irving. Interesting. Montez 724 at the 103 takes Shakir 142. Now on the other side of the coin, it's still May. He might be fine. He might be all right. Passed on him at 56 to get Lamar with Zay. I think passing on him for Lamar is perfectly fair. I think that's the correct move for sure. Haven't had the benefit of grabbing Gainwell that much. Oh, I hope for your sake he's not going to fly up the board. I was drafting Kenneth Gainwell early on in the 130s. I was taking Gainwell all throughout February, all throughout March, all throughout April, all throughout May. I will continue to draft Kenneth Gainwell all fucking summer. Gainwell summer, dude. The poll is currently tied 50-50 now versus later. So that's not enough to sway me. We're gonna wait a little bit longer. We're in round 13. We're in the middle of the board, so we'll check it at consistent intervals and beautiful. Love to see it. We'll go Darnold with Rashid Shaheed. Fuck yeah. That's something that happened with Jiri earlier. I think we also had like pick 7 or something like this. I'm pretty sure it was pick 7. And we took a quarterback in round 12. We took Malik Willis at a falling price. And he was lobbying for Rashid Shaheed. Shaheed made it back to us at 151. Had I known that, I would have just taken Sam Darnold. But Darnold, I've seen fall consistently. The JSN drafter did decide to pass. They have Caleb and Jared Goff, so lucked out in that regard. But I've noticed not many people trust in Sam Darnold. He wasn't that good last year from a fantasy standpoint, but when he has to turn it on, when the team is actually relying on offense, he does have the spike week capability. He can throw for several touchdowns. He can deliver if he really needs to. It's not going to happen too often, but it can work out. And if it is, it's probably going to involve a house call at a Shaheed because big games at a JSN are just expected all the time. And maybe that's the more likely, just if Shaheed explodes, then on top of JSN having a big week, then Darnold is probably going to play decent. But there's also some good backstacks with Darnold. He's actually a solid pivot option to go to. But I would have loved Daniel Jones on this team. I had Tyler Warren and Alec Pierce. Might just go Trey Tucker for another receiver. Not in love with the running backs too much here. But we have a Raider. We have the Arizona bring back. Why not? I'll go Trey Tucker. I'm not dying to take a second Arizona pass catcher, but if you told me that Raiders game gets interesting, then maybe Mendoza's chucking it like crazy too, and maybe Trey Tucker drops 40 like he has once before. Maybe they just lock in on his touchdowns randomly alongside Genty playing well. But Game Tight says Willis top 10 QB in fantasy, lock it in. I don't know about that, brother. I don't know about that. Can he put up a top 10 performance while active? Yes, he's done it before. He has the rushing chops to do it. He could do that. Week in, week out, I'm a bet against it. I think it's Justin Fields 2.0, but it's at a significant markdown from where Justin Fields had been going the last couple seasons. So Malik Willis at 127, 138. I think that's all fair game if you need the points, and this team definitely needs the points. We only had Mahomes up to that point, but a balanced approach so far with quarterback. We could spend a little less at the position if we take Rodgers, but I got a shit ton of Rodgers. Got to start mixing it up, and almost took Daniel Jones, one pick away, but this Shaheed Darnold combo worked out, and don't love his Week 17 matchup, but we're really betting on Mahomes in Week 17. Darnold just helps us get there. So coming back on the clock, CDA Suave only has 2 running backs. CMC Travion. Are they passing again? Wow, they do. I'll take B-Rob at this discount. Fuck yeah. Running back 4 for me, so need the position. Get a 9-pick fall. I have Brian Robinson is my most drafted running back at this point in time. If I think he's just in an ideal scenario. And among the handcuffs, it's extremely obvious there's nobody else other than him. Yeah, Bijan probably stays healthy, but what if he doesn't? That's always the big argument for all these other players around here. What if the starter doesn't pan out? What if they get hurt? So B-Rob is there. And then when you also factor in the Falcons offense, nobody has any confidence in their playmakers. Nobody has any belief in anyone other than the top 3. So Brian Robinson's actually the 4th weapon on the Falcons, even above the quarterbacks. He's the 4th Falcon drafted. Consider that alone. It's hard to find a team like the Falcons in terms of upside on offense that doesn't have more than 3 other players drafted by this point in time. Pick 175. Now, it is a discount, but that's a pretty crazy thing to factor in. The 4th weapon on the Falcons is drafted at pick 175. That's pretty good value. If that's actually how he's used. Like last year, that's how Tyler Algier was used. They didn't have anybody else to compete with him. And my boy Tank Bigsby's here all day. You know what it is. Tank motherfucking Bigsby. It's a fun lobby today. All right, this team is coming together. I think this team is pretty fucking cool and interesting. Like maybe receivers not going to cut it. Like let's be honest, there's a chance receiver is a little too thin, but I think it's fine. I think running back can stop. We got 2 picks left. I think I want 8 wideouts on this team, but yeah, let me break it down position by position. We got Mahomes, Malik Willis, and Sam Darnold. Running back room has Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Kenneth Gainwell, Brian Robinson, Tank Bigsby. We are rocking with the Chargers Chiefs Week 17 matchup indoors. We have Ladd McConkey to pair with that DJ Moore against the Dolphins. So maybe Malik Willis does go off against Buffalo that week. Alec Pierce, always a big spike week guy, but Xavier Worthy in that Chargers bring back. Shaheed is stacked up. He'll be at Carolina. So maybe JSN will have his hands full against the Panthers. Top corner, J.C. Horn. Trey Tucker, though, for that Raiders-Arizona matchup. And speaking of which, Trey McBride is our tight end 1. Our tight end 2 is also elite with Tyler Warren. So this is going to be a unique pairing if we can push it through. We're in the Pomeranian, so got to finish 4th or better, not 2nd or 1st. I think we got away with it. So last 2 rounds, receiver is critical. Damn, Ridley's a little tough. I'm going to go Torrey Horton. I can't talk myself into Cooper Kupp when Torrey Horton's still on the board. I would like the Darnold stack to further continue. And Kupp can get the volume, but Kupp is not as targeted in the red zone as often as you might like. Maybe without Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet, they'll just be forced to pivot. But I think Torrey Horton, with his skill set last year on display, when he hits the lineup, I think he can deliver more of a house call touchdown. And his injury concern is also a dilemma, but that's what it was last year. That's what it was like last year. And he did not quite pan out, but he was healthier than people gave him credit for. And he was going undrafted as well. So I'll just take him. The final click is coming up. We'll review P-Punch. We'll take a look at Rocco Jamaica, and then my team in totality one last time. And then we'll draft one more Palm. One more Palm right after this. I'm not going to take Brissett. I don't need a 4th quarterback. That'd be overkill. I don't need McBride stacked up. I'll just stick with McBride. Nothing wrong with that. Taekwon's not too bad, but I think I'm going to play further into that Chiefs-Chargers game, and we only have Ladd McConkey. I'm going to take Brandon Thompson with 4.26 speed. Give me the athlete that cannot be stopped. The Chiefs secondary definitely going to take a step down this year with the loss of Trent McDuffie. I know they traded up for Delane Mansour, but I still think that the secondary is going to take a hit. So I could see Herbert have to pivot. That game becomes a shootout. They need a house call. They're pinned at the 15-yard line, and Brandon Thompson breaks free for a go route. Herbert hits him in stride. 85-yard touchdown. Brandon Thompson. That would be a 15-point play. Lock it in. Week 17. Give me Brandon Thompson against the Chiefs. But all right, this is a fun roster. I like it. We mentioned it already for the most part, so I'll mention it last just as a quick reminder. But Rocco Jamaica on the clock with his final pick. Where's he going to go? He goes Brisket. All right, Jackson Dart, CJ Stroud, Jacoby Brisket. Final click, I suppose, but contract dispute right now. Cardinals are tanking. They have Carson Beck. They have Minshew. I think they're going to call his bluff. I actually think Jacoby Brissett has nothing guaranteed at the moment. I don't think he's worth drafting. Jahmyr Gibbs, Travis, Javonte, David Montgomery, C-Rod, very strong running back room. No complaints there. Is it at the expense of anything else? Waddle, Parker Washington, Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, Omar Cooper, Tesla, Malachi Field, Zachariah Branch, not bad, all things considered. Tight end, only 2, but Kelsey and Schultz, high floor plays, locked in production. And then I love Kelsey in week 17 against the Chargers. I wanted him bad on this team, but not bad at all. Really, really not bad at all. Waddle better pay off. Parker better play off, but Reed is looking like a even better click with the Josh Jacobs situation and his rushing ability. So Jaden Reed, a dual threat for sure. And some of these picks later are a little questionable, but ultimately, with such a strong running back room, I'm pretty impressed. I think it's well built. Hopefully Dart stays healthy. Brisket, though, pick 216. I can excuse it. Not my favorite. Tanner wants us to rate the 2-hole. Lurkin, asking for team review at the end. I'll do yours last, but sure. P-Punch says Drake May. Bo Nix will get it done at quarterback. All says Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Swift, Ramondre Stevenson, Jonathan Brooks, Jonah Coleman, Sean motherfucking Tucker. Excellent click with Tucker. Coleman probably pays off because Dobbins goes down. Brooks either finally pays off or, just like Marshawn Lloyd, goes down again. Ramondre, good solid floor, good swings late. I'm not taking Coleman too often. I think he's overpriced, but he will probably be on the field at one point, and why not take him? You really were setting up a Mahomes click, though, so sorry about that. It is what it is. Mahomes has good backstacks. He's a good click. Puka, Rashi, Mike Evans, Ricky P, Golden, Ted Hurst, Kayshon Boutte, Troy Franklin. You got the Drake May Bo Nix consolation, but also set up like a Brock Purdy click. Did you get sniped on it or did you pass? Okay, you passed for Monungai, didn't get it to come back. Bummer. Tragic. Quite tragic. But tight end has Hunter Henry, TJ Hawkinson. Not the best. Yeah. Mahomes. Then Purdy. No. Just crushing your dreams. But you do have the bring back. Good luck with the Patriots hosting Denver. That could be a very low scoring game. Tanner with the request. Let's check it out. Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy with the snipe. Yo. A fellow snipage unstacked as well. Hilarious. You did not take Kittle. You took Stribling later and you took Tonjes. That's hilarious. Bijan, Jeremiah, Brees Hall. It's a trip running back out the gate. And then Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, both Vikings. That's fair. I like that you stopped at 5, though. But Terry stacked up. Adams, Harrison at 74. Pretty decent. Also with Michael Wilson, you pass on Brisket even at 215. Very notable. I think a wise choice. Stribling stacked up. Ayuk, good luck. But I suppose there's still a chance, there's still a chance, but it's very slim. Mooney, Malik Washington, not too shabby. Tight end with volume and good assets, likely Okonkwo, and even Tonjes, I think, has value. Very legit click. Not bad at all. And then I drafted Daniels with Jiri like twice earlier tonight. So yeah, good team. Good team at the 2, Tanner. Let us know earlier on that you're drafting with us. I would love to know that in advance, but I really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, asking for the team review, hopping in the chat after the fact as well. Appreciate you joining the channel. All right, we're done for this one. I think you saw my team while I was drafting it. No need to revisit it. It's time. I'm going to hop into another Pomeranian. The delay is about 5 seconds. I timed it. It's roughly about 5 seconds. So with that in mind, we will give you a 10-second countdown starting now, entering the Pomeranian in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And on the clock, it is 12:12. That's a very good omen. I think it's time for a little hit, a little smoke break. What's up, Slayton? Just got home. What's up? Miley Cyrus in the house. I get the bookend, pick 12. This is the spot I've drafted from the least out of. This is actually the spot where I never really pull it. But Rocco Jamaica pulls the 101 in back-to-back drafts. Why don't I get luck like that? You know, that's pretty ridiculous. That's pretty crazy. But Spurs G at the 102, Jedi Niner at the 103, Cheese 24 Skull. Pretty sure you might be watching. And y'all, other than everyone in the top 5, other than Jedi, has a different colored badge. So y'all are some sickos. Spurs, I guess, with the black badge, though, a bit more tame. I'm still at the red badge. So not as thick into these streets, not as deep into the quicksand as some other people, but helps if you have won something and gotten a big payout. But Champ at the 105, Jontara at the 106, Alex at the 107. Not sure I recognize Alex. Let us know. But King Calorie was in the last one. Maybe he is watching. Let us know. P Punch in here again at the 109. Not sure about M Sug 101 at the 110, but Fancy Dog right next to me. We all bunched up, and I have the caboose, pick 12, and then the beginning of the snake at 13. I have the right side of the board. What do red, white, and black, white badges mean? Black and white means 500 drafts. Red and white means 1,000 plus drafts. I believe the bronze badge that Champ has at the 105, just took Amon-Ra, I believe means 2,000 plus drafts. And then I think silver is 5,000. I could be wrong. I think blue is 10K. Purple is like 20K. Something like that. Something like that. King Calorie in here. Again, appreciate you letting us know, man. In here from Michigan. Yo, you're going late, but we get Jefferson. I'll take that for sure. Do I go crazy and I take London like that like that other guy? We'll take Jefferson for sure. And then I think I'll take Saquon. Yeah. Let's do that. I don't take Saquon too often, but why not? Today let's mix it up. It's definitely not my most exposed setup. That's for sure. And honestly, at this point, if I want to just mix things up, I just need to take Saquon in the second round. But I often get sniped on Saquon. I feel like a lot of times people are not letting me have Saquon when I want him. So today we'll take him, just increase the exposure, check it off the list. Now I can draft another 11 teams without taking him and not feel bad about it. But in general, I'm going to be a little underweight on Saquon. I think 5% would be like a sweet spot, maybe 6.5. You know, if I wind up with 7 or 8, it is what it is. But I don't think I'm going to be overweight on Saquon. That's for sure. I'm going to be heavily overweight on Tank Bigsby. 112 is nice. You can get Cook Achane stacked. At least not on this one. But that's not a bad option. Not too bad. That Bills Dolphins game, Achane typically cooks the Buffalo Bills, but he doesn't have Mike McDaniel. That might not be the case this year. I don't love Devon Achane, but M Sug gets Genty and Achane at the 10 slot. CMC and Hampton go to the 109. Etienne's, yeah, at pick 20 today. Champ getting his guy. Running back does dry up. That's for sure. So a little bit more of a unique start, getting 2 third-round picks with Amon-Ra. Not going to be too common. Roni Baloney. Damn, I'm in the mitten too. I imagine that's the overflow. Cheese 24 Skull saw you were live and hopped in. Appreciate you, Charles. You've definitely been in here before. I recognize the Philip Rivers picture for sure. Appreciate you, man. I take a decent chunk of Saquon, but yeah, it's just because he falls a lot. I prefer Henry H. Cook for the most part. Yeah, in lobbies that I'm typically in, he's usually getting scooped up top of the second round. Oh, that's Champ doing a thing. Thought it was wild, badgeless. Champ's just mixing it up. I mean, when you've done over 5,000 drafts, maybe you get bored sometimes. Hell, I haven't even done 2,000. Sometimes I get bored. But I'm gonna end the poll because this is our last draft of the night. Don't want to promise a third when I can't deliver. P Punch does get the Rashi Rice Hampton combo. The Walker drafter passed for Jacobs. That's King Calorie. Not afraid of Jacobs going to prison. More concerned that Rashi Rice is currently in prison. Jacobs, I think, was what? Let out on bail or something? But Fancy Dog on the clock. Can't imagine he gives me Chris Olave. I would sure love it, but can't imagine. He goes Flowers. Fuck yeah. I'll take that, and I think I'll also pair it with T. Higgins. Let's do it. He gets Flowers with Henry. Okay, that's fair. Setting up a major Lamar combo, but if you're going to commit to it, do we see Lamar come off the board right here? Is he committed that much? No, it goes Evans. Seen Lamar fall back, but also recognize a lot of names. And if y'all have watched me many times, I have told you that Lamar Jackson is just a valid click in the fifth, anywhere in the fifth, even at 49. We'll see. Don't want to jinx it, but we'll see. Recognize all of y'all. Who is that? Thompson? Brennan Thompson runs a 4.26. We took him on the last draft. So far, this is a, really strong receiver room. We'll see what happens in this lobby if we get graced with a nice running back room throughout this draft. But I think we can still piece it together. I think there's still depth options. I think being on this side of the board, as long as you have the anchor, I think taking double whiteout is ridiculous at pick 12. But we get Jefferson. Why not lock in the elite number one? Not going to let Jefferson fall into the second round right now. But love his playoff schedule. Even the Jets game I still think is pretty good. But home against Detroit, home against the Commanders, and then at the Jets, week 17. Should be a pretty sweet spot to be in. Also, late December, weather can be a problem. He plays in a dome, weeks 15 and 16. Not only do you have to win week 17, but you also have to get there. And I think Jefferson's going to crush when it matters most. Late night with Mr. Blunt makes it up. Thank you for hopping in, Steven. Hope we can provide some good entertainment tonight. Wow, Tyler Warren. Calorie. Doing his thing. Tyler Warren's usually there at 65, so don't give a fuck. He just likes multiple players in the 6th round ahead of these round 5 options. That's legit. That's one way to play it. I do like Tyler Warren. I'm starting to not see that much difference between Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland, to be honest. I think their ADPs can be closer. I like Colston Loveland a lot. I don't know if I love him though because of the Tyler Warren price, especially when you get Tyler Warren like pick 77. Holy shit. Those are the days. I feel excellent. But I am on the clock. Quinshon Judkins is still here. I'll go Quinshon. And then I feel like I should just take Burrow. Carnell Tate apparently looks lights out in camp, but I'm on the bookend. I don't want to force Justin Herbert on every roster just to say I did. We're going to go Burrow with Higgins. Being at the bookend, you can definitely miss out on some quarterback options at some time. Like sometimes the lobby just says fuck you and really, really buries you. But they were nice to Fantasy Dog. They gifted him Lamar at 59. It really paid off for him to pass for Mike Evans because damn, that looks pretty good. He gets Carnell Tate, scoops him up. Carnell Tate looks apparently the very early camp reports that he is tearing shit up. Really looking good. So that's going to be a pretty legit click. I think Carnell Tate in the 5th might happen at some point as like, nope, you can just never get him in round 6 anymore. So maybe I should have taken him. I had good receivers already, though. Jefferson, Olave, T. Higgins, and getting a quarterback one, not having to worry too much about if we miss out later or not. On this bookend, though, there's usually still an option at the 9-10 turn. Picks 108, 109. There's usually at least someone that you can take. And I do have Olave on this roster. The Tyson drafters right here. We'll see about that team. But we got time. And even if we miss out, we still have Burrow and T. Higgins. In this contest, especially if you have Burrow, got to be stacked. That's kind of the only problem with Burrow and Caleb. At least Caleb runs a little bit, but still, you have to set up the stack in order to take the quarterback and make it make sense. Like MSUG took Caleb unstacked. Not sure it's worth the price. With Burrow, it's even more punitive unstacked. I took him in a lobby with Basketball Guy 2 nights ago, I want to say. Maybe it was yesterday. It might have been yesterday. I was just in the chat. I was just watching. But I was at the 101, and I tried to get a Caleb stack. It didn't land in my plate. But somebody pushed the Jamar Chase Burrow stack, and I was at 72, and I said, fuck it. I'm just taking the points. Like, I'll set up a different stack. I had a mega Detroit stack going, but I thought for the value, just having the quarterback in the lobby, just to advance in the fucking lobby and then give myself a shot in the playoff weeks. I was like, if I don't take a quarterback here, I might get buried. And I didn't have a Purdy stacking option. I didn't have many good stacking options other than Goff remaining. So I was like, let's not leave everything up to chance. I got a discount on Burrow, and why not? But if he's going to contribute in the playoffs, you're probably going to need him stacked up. He just doesn't run enough, and his offense is so consolidated that if he has a good game, it just definitely means that Higgins and Chase have a good game, typically, unless they're hurt. So you definitely want a piece of Cincinnati, and you have to take it earlier on to set it up. It's kind of annoying, but Kraft is still on the board. I'm a fan of Kraft. Would have loved to take Kraft and Jaden Reed, but Kraft gives me another stacking partner. I'm legitimately not convinced that DK Metcalf is actually worth this pick. Rico Dowdle went off the board, so I'll go into Chicago. Chicago's a good team. Chicago's got a good offense, and Swift, has had injury troubles in the past. Probably stays healthy again, but who knows? When Monungai was in the lineup filling in for him, he had like 30 touches. You want the Ben Johnson backfield. And this is just the price you have to pay on Monangai. He falls a little bit into the ninth. He's not going to fall to me at 108. So if I want any shares of Kyle Monangai, here's just where you have to take him. To quote The Wire, yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price on Monangai is round 8. Last year it was undrafted, not anymore. So there is a little bit of tough sledding for Monangai if DeAndre Swift does stay healthy. Can definitely crash and burn just because he doesn't get enough volume. But that offense is run first. That offense is actually wanting to run the ball at a very high rate. Their O-line, I think, had somebody retire, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's possible. I could be wrong. That might not be ideal, but Monangai was very efficient on the goal line last year, and they didn't draft anyone to compete with him. So no concern on Roshan Johnson. He can be a bell cow if required, but he's also not going to go away, even alongside Swift. So fine click, running backs thinning out, good offense, a team I'm happy to invest in, and we never even had a shot at Justin Herbert. He went pick 77. My go-to was taken. So didn't take a receiver there. We'll see if it costs me, but I set up 3 strong wideouts to begin with Jefferson, Olave, T. Higgins. Jefferson's stack is still available right now. If Kyler circles back, Olave can be stacked with Tyler Shuck. And then Tucker Kraft, elite tight end in a lobby that's a little bit weird at the position. Warren went 56. So I get an elite tight end option with a stacking partner in Jordan Love. Maybe all 3 get sniped, but odds are one of them's still there. Typically. I got several outs. Not to worry. So far, the team's pretty balanced. A 1-3-3-1. Nothing too crazy. We good with or without Lamar, just saying, my friend. I'm glad you were fine either way, but I'm also very happy that you got rewarded. I'm very happy he made it to you. Here's a fun thing to do between rounds. Type Rams into Underdog player search and see if you recognize any wide receiver names past Devontae Puka. It's pretty wild. Okay, here's a fun thing. How many can I predict before I do it? We have Tutu Atwell, who's no longer there. He's in Miami. So that leaves Jordan Whittington. That leaves Xavier Smith. That leaves Konata Mumfield. Is there anyone else I can think of? Those are the 3 I can think of. Whittington, I think, is probably the most common name people remember. But Konata Mumfield, I've actually taken in a big board once. I took Konata Mumfield once. And then Xavier Smith, I think, is actually the sneaky play. Damn, I could take Fannin here at 108. That might hit pretty well. But Kyler for sure with Jefferson. Kyler for sure. Question is, do I go double quarterback? Receiver kind of thinned out, honestly. I think I'm just going to take Fannin. I don't take Fannin like ever. And I think the last time I took him on the channel was actually like at 105. So 109, fuck it. We're going to go bully tight end. Weird lobby today in the tight end streets. But this is the second lobby in a row where we're going kind of bully approach. This one was cheaper at least. We went with McBride, Tyler Warren on the last one. Today we go Tucker Kraft, Harold Fannin. And Fannin at a discount. Fannin 109. Why not? I already have Quinshon Judkins. I'm already invested in the team. Receiver room is pretty weird there. Receiver room, rather crowded. But Fannin, probably not challenged for at least his routes. Targets, though, that's a different story. But Njoku left. He's locked in. Fuck it. Maybe he continues to fall. Maybe this is his new price, but fuck it. We'll take Fannin today at 109. Could have snagged Fannin and gone with a Cleveland quarterback, but you need a third tight end for week 11. Is that what fucking happened? God damn it. Here's the thing. We're in the Pomeranian. We only have to finish 4th. I'm just going to eat the 0 at week 11. I'm going to be the only person with the week 11 Tucker Craft Harold Fannin combo because nobody else is dumb enough to double up on week 11 buys. But little do they know it doesn't matter to take a 0 at tight end. Little do they know you can tolerate it. Will it be the difference between 4th place and 5th? Perhaps, but I'm willing to take the falling value, take the unique combo, and risk it. But damn, I'm not typically in this spot. I only have 3 receivers through 10 rounds. We're already into round 11. I'm not the only team in this situation, though. Champ is also in this situation. Champ has Amon-Ra, Rome Odunze, and Parker Washington. He set up the Loveland Rome stack. Did not get Caleb. M-Sug took him unstacked. Fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. Oh, damn. That sucks. But here I am with the 2-3-3-2. I think I'm going like 5 whiteouts in a row. That might be what I do. 5 whiteouts in a row, then 3 receivers. Then 3 running backs, perhaps. I might do that. What's up, Disbanded? You already named one more than I did. Now you get a free crack at whatever Cleveland QB you want late round if you want a third. I don't think I'm going to take a third. I think I might just chill. But maybe I'll take Shador in the final round. Who knows? But, I mean, at this point, maybe this is just my heavy bet on Cleveland. Sug passes. Yo, Fancy Dog, do me a solid. Do me a solid. Yes! Fuck yeah. Fuck yes. We're taking KC Concepcion at 132. Let's triple down. Wide receiver 4, KC Concepcion. And then I'm going to take Diggs. Actually, am I going to take Diggs? Yeah, I'm going to take Diggs. Pick 133. You know, Steven, we have 3 Cleveland Browns on this team. I think it is time. I think it is time to get fucking wild. Oh, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Here's the thing. Nobody knows where Diggs is going to land. There is no Diggs snipe in essence. But you were there at pick 6. You have Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dart. What are you hoping for? Diggs goes to the Giants? What are you talking? A Diggs snipe? You just like Diggs. You just think he's a good click, I guess. But Fancy Dog, I can't draft and chat at the same time. I don't know how you do it, Adam. It's when you smoke weed and it's just stream of consciousness and you're just talking to yourself. That's how you do it. I take Caleb and Dak understacked all the time. It's delicious. Guaranteed volume. I can toss on pieces later if I need, sometimes in round 8. You just got to say I'd rather have Knicks than Worthy, for sure. I don't think a random unstacked QB is going to kill you, especially when it's someone that's so like guaranteed to pay off like Caleb or Joe Burrow. At least Caleb can run. You know, at least Caleb can also run pretty well. But yeah, Juntara for sure. The mystery box, indeed. But it looks like you're setting up a Sam Darnold stack with JSN Rashid Shaheed. I hope he comes back to you if you want him. But we're 11 picks away. I'm going to take a rip from the pipe because I'm having fun. Why not? For the vibes. Yo, thank you, Anthony, for hopping in, letting us know. Wow, Tua goes a 146. Holy shit. Yo, what the fuck is happening? This is this is super late. I didn't want Henry, but wasn't gonna let that D bag have him with me. Gee. Yo, you sent him in. You spent Spurs into a spiral. I don't know. I don't think Spurs is a D bag. That's rude, Mr. Castle. But Henry's not a terrible click. You should have taken Gadsden for the Kelsey bringback. A spite snipe out of Rock Hard Castle. Brutal. Damn, Daniel Jones, pretty solid price here. I don't have any Indianapolis Colts, however. Don't think I'm taking a tight end. If I'm taking quarterback, it's going to be Shador. Pacheco fell a little bit. I mean, if I'm just scooping up value, it's Pacheco, Daniel Jones. You know, like those are the clicks. But I'm in a bit of a tough spot at receiver hypothetic. Like receiver's not locked in too well. I take Pacheco. Shit. I'm gonna take another mystery box in Deebo Samuel. Would have loved like a. Here's the thing. I feel like Omar Cooper Jr. should be going closer to like this spot right here. Like Cooper goes 141. I feel like he should be more like 150. And it would be awesome if I got him there to set up the Kyler Murray bring back in Minnesota. Could have definitely taken TJ Hawkinson, but I'm talking myself into the Shador Sanders selection. I'm not going to go Deshaun. I have enough Cleveland Browns to warrant it. I didn't want to go with another Cleveland Brown. Denzel Boston was on the board there, but I didn't think it was worth it. So if I'm going to do that, I'm not going to take a third quarterback and a third tight end. So TJ Hawkinson doesn't make sense. We invested quite a bit with Kraft and Fannin. In theory, 2 tight ends in the top 10 rounds. Most teams don't even have one yet. So at least half the teams typically don't have one yet. So that's the most anybody else spent in this lobby. I think I'm good stopping there. But Sladen, I remember some wild week last year with Knicks. Had 35 points and no one else on the roster had 15. God bless rushing touchdowns. Yeah, Knicks is actually someone you can get away with unstacked. Now that he has Waddle, I think that's the piece I would want. But I still think Sutton probably offers some touchdown production. At least Spurs does take Branch with Tua. Grabbed Tua way too early, but does get the stacking combo. He also has Bijan, so at least there's that. But rather high. Anthony, I'm new to this. He is to me, he sniped me so he couldn't draft Stevenson with bro. You're taking this a little too personal. It's only $3. And even if you make the final, you might only get $10. Like but that's the thing about being pick 101, Rocco. Pick 101 is actually not that easy. That's why I took Burrow, because there's nothing guaranteed when you're at the bookend. You can get sniped. Sorry, it's amusing me. I'm entertained. A-Rod, what do you think about the Vikings wide receivers? Who's more likely to be number 2? I think Addison's still the number 2. I think I definitely still want Addison, but he's not as appealing with a little more target competition, because I think Juwan Jennings can be a bit more involved than a Jalen Naylor was. However, I do think Addison's skill set as like the deep threat kind of gets like tripled down. If anything, I think in best ball, Addison is still a really phenomenal click. I still really like the Vikings. I like their schedule. I like their coach. I like that Kyler has some job insecurity at the moment. He's trying to prove himself, play for another contract. The problem, I think, you know, obviously it's his mindset and like his work ethic. You know what I mean? Like Kyler, is he a good quarterback? You know, there's a lot of leadership qualities that factor in there. I don't know if Kyler is like built to be the ultimate leader on the football field, you know, when he plays that much Call of Duty and shit. But um, he had so much job security in Arizona. Like they were not moving off of him at all. You know, like he could get away with just about anything and no one's really going to talk back to him. So uh, I like that he's in a situation he's got to prove himself, got a chip on his shoulder, you know, like versus JJ McCarthy. I think there's going to be some blood in the water. We're going to go Jeremy Bernard lighting up camp in some practice footage I saw. And now we're back on the clock. I'm going to take Sean Tucker. Tucker? Hardly know her. Definitely a good viable click. Kenny Gainwell goes pick 101 in this one. Definitely more legit where he should go, if not even higher. So let's just take the cheaper one. And Tucker's probably not making it back at 204. Round 16, very legit price tag on Sean Tucker. Interesting that Bigsby in this lobby goes 160, around 14 to P-Punch. Long gone are the days where Bigsby is available in the 16th round. You have to take all three Browns quarterbacks now just to justify your team. I'm not taking three of them. Fuck that. I'm only taking Shador. Castle says Spurs has no shot at winning with that trash-ass team. So he had to ruin mine. I don't think that's what he was thinking, man. I don't think that's what people are thinking. And yeah, none of us know. We can think we know. None of us know. I got sniped 6 times. That's my story tonight. Gloves are off for my $10 win. There's nothing ever locked in for you, Rocco. You're at the mercy of the board at pick 12. Shit happens sometimes. It is what it is. Gotta be able to pivot. Get a different team. Plus, you never know. Maybe Drake May gets hurt. Who the fuck knows? If that's the case, then having Travion and A.J. Brown probably doesn't pan out in the first place. But who knows? Maybe Bo Nix, Tyler Shuck is more critical to have in the big money weeks. Like, you're telling me Drake May against the Broncos week 17 is actually the most appealing option now? You know, like, he should be good, but when everything is weighted to week 17, and especially in this contest, it's not the best thing you could envision. But I don't blame him for not taking Drake May at the top of the 5th. You know, like, to pull up May where he took Waddle, you know, I don't think I'm doing that. That feels a little ridiculous. So it's a bummer. It's definitely happened to the best of us. It'll happen again to just about everyone. Tonight, it is what it is. At least it wasn't like a best ball mania. Only $3 could be worse. But it is very upsetting when it happens to you. It's easy to laugh at someone else. So apologies, man, if I'm poking the bear. But sometimes it just is what it is. All right, we got that week 11 bye week at tight end. That's unfortunate. Can I just stop at 7 with these receivers? I think I might be able to stop at 7. Running back, I mean, maybe Sean Tucker really delivers. I'm Shador over Deshaun. If I'm going to take my first ever Browns quarterback, it's going to be Shador tonight. So that's what I'm going to do. And then is there a tight end that's worth considering? I mean, I suppose I could go Gesicki. I suppose. Um, yeah, why not just trust in Casey Concepcion a little bit? Diggs will also deliver. Top three are really good. Running back, though, is tricky. Shador first. Shador for sure. Jordan James could be viable. Could go against Saquon Barkley as well. Ray Davis could get on the field week 17 against the Dolphins very easily. Yeah, I'm talking myself more a little into that. Let me go Ray Davis. Because even if Jordan James is playing against the Eagles defense, that's not good. That's not the best spot to be in if you're not CMC. Give me Ray Day just for an extra running back. Because Monangai, we mentioned, Monangai might actually really not contribute. Pacheco could struggle to get on the field, in all honesty. I wouldn't be shocked if they also brought in like a Najee Harris to compete with him. Sean Tucker should be good, but, could be worthless too. And then Ray Day will probably be worthless until he's not. And if he's the guy you need against Miami, week 17, yeah, Ray Day, week 17 could crush. So I'll go for it on this one. Felt like the room was able to tolerate it, given the bet on Jefferson, Olave, and T. Higgins. Very strong up top. And I only need to start 3. Like there's a world where I get away with, none of these other 4 ever hitting the lineup. But the mystery box with Diggs, the mystery box with Debo, the rookie splash potential with Jeremy Bernard in Pittsburgh, I think he's good enough to warrant a 180 selection and just stop there. And then the fall on Casey Concepcion can't be understated. My second ever click on Casey Concepcion, the only time I've ever taken him is in the 130s. So it is worth it if you don't like taking Concepcion. Wow, Antonio Williams went 113 to Calorie. Damn, Calorie just got his guys in this one. Damn. But Concepcion 132. This is a good price. This price cannot be understated. I think y'all really gifted me for the memes, maybe. And once I took Judkins, once I took Fannin, maybe you just saw that and you were like, yeah, he's getting stuck with the Browns tonight. And maybe for that reason I have no shot. But for the value, I'm okay with it. All right, full team. Burrow, Kyler, and then we just took Shador because why not? Saquon, Quinshawn, Kyle Monangai, Pacheco, Sean Tucker, Ray Davis. Need these handcuffs to work out, but all on very valuable offenses if they ever get their shot. They're in business, and I might also just get away with the top 2 getting so many touches and never getting hurt that I never really need many flex contributions out of this group. But wide receiver, very loaded up top. 3 top guns are Jefferson in round 1, Olave and T. Higgins at the 3-4 turn. That's pretty fun. Concepcion, we waited and we got rewarded. Like, if Concepcion is legitimately, like 125 targets out of Cleveland this year, then I might have struck gold. Like, legitimately. This could be such a clutch pick in context, but Diggs also could be a goldmine asset. So really interesting receiver value potential there, contingent on a lot of ifs, but very high upside. And then Debo, also another mystery box, could land in a good spot. Jeremy, decent floor play. I think both of these are decent floor plays, to be honest. But then tight end is elite. Tight end, I'm really cooking with gas. We got Kraft and Fannin. Only downside is the double week 11 bye, but I'll take the 0. I don't give a shit. We are full go every other week, and this is like a lot of ammunition here. This is really exciting. I think the starting roster is fucking sweet. And then who the fuck knows? Maybe Shador is who you need at a point in time. Who does Cleveland play in the money weeks? Week 15, Shador Sanders is at the Giants. Probably sucks. Week 16, Cleveland is at Baltimore. Probably sucks. Week 17, Cleveland is home to the Colts. Could be worse, but not great. Could be really bad weather. Damn, Browns playoff schedule. Rather ass. Holy shit. That's bad. I have it written down. That's bad. Okay. Let me catch up. Best week 17 teams never survive week 15. There is simply too much to worry about. Just enjoy the ride. Love flex some crazy shit, man. My man. Anthony, it is late. Yeah. We might not be drafting at full capacity mentally at this point in time. Watch my last pick. Who'd you take? Kendrick Bourne. Yo. That's ridiculous. That's an egregious pick, Fancy Dog. I like Gesicki for this. Could have taken him. I took Ray Day just for the, I only have to finish fourth. I don't have to thread the needle in second, but didn't mess up this draft. Says Fancy Dog. Let's take a look. Let's go in reverse order and take a look because there's a lot of friends and family in this one. Kendrick Bourne. I have a little Bourne in pre-draft. Y'all are sickos. Y'all are crazy. Okay. Lamar Jackson, Cam Ward, and Brissett. The Brissett click, I think, is unnecessary and not going to pay off. That's my take on Brissett, especially in this contest. Don't think he's on the field. Week 17. James Cook, Derrick Henry, that's fine. Pollard, Chris Rodriguez, solid depth, and Emmett Johnson, worth a pull as number 5. Not bad to stop right there. Zay Flowers early. No, right at ADP, basically. Not early. You took Evans early. That's what it was. Yeah, you passed on Lamar early for Evans early, and it paid off. You did get the Flowers combo. You did not take Brock Purdy, though. Carnell Tate with Cam Ward should be a good value pick. That's for sure. Michael Wilson with Trey Tucker, Calvin Ridley, Kendrick Bourne. A bit gross. Not going to lie. Michael Wilson, I think, can free fall at some point this summer. Like, the Michael Wilson ADP is fake. I don't get it. I've seen him in the 90s a bunch. And it doesn't happen too often, but like every time it happens, I'm still like, let's see how far it can go today. I don't like him above ADP. I don't. Kyle Pitts, though, Dallas Goedert, Brenton Strange. Very strong tight end room. Closing out strong, though, at tight end. So wide receiver, a little tricky, but good enough. Up top could be okay. Mike Evans, though, might not stay healthy enough. If these ones don't cover for him, receiver could be thin, possibly. The Kendrick Bourne click, it's funny, but I actually think it could really burn you. Because it's a pretty obvious 0, if you ask me. I don't see more than one touchdown randomly to really hit it. So don't love the Cardinals investment. Otherwise, everything else I actually like a lot. We got M Sug. I don't think he was watching. Don't think so. P Punch, though, was in the last one, so I'll review you last, P Punch. No offense. We're gonna move through it a little quickly, but King Calorie with actually no, P Punch is a member. My bad. P Punch is a member. My bad. Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love. Can definitely move on with that. CMC, Omarion Hampton, Jadarian Price, Tank Bigsby, Tyjae Spears. Very legit. I'm not in love with Tyjae. I'm more Nick Singleton. Got him at a discount at least, so I can excuse it. It's worth some exposure. At least it's 15 picks past ADP, so not bad. Not going to complain. Rashee Rice, Lad McConkey, Christian Watson for the combo. You have Cortland Sutton and Matthew Golden stacked up as your wide receiver 5. Very good receiver room. Travis Hunter, I'm talking myself into more and more. I almost took Hunter myself, to be honest, instead of Diggs, but went with Diggs for a safer floor. Ted Hurst and Tyquan Thornton. very legit. This team has Mahomes too, so yeah, good stacks. Andrews, Chig, and Terrence Ferguson. Very nice. Very, very nice P punch. This one, I really don't see a single issue with this at all. Everything is making plenty of sense. The only personal preference is Tyjae Spears. That's my only go elsewhere. Like if you told me you sniped me on Sean Tucker instead of Tyjae, chef's kiss. I think that's the only thing I would have done differently. Literally one click. No notes. Good job, P Punch. That's the silver badge showing showing itself. King Calorie with Jaden Daniels, Malik Willis, Daniel Jones. Pretty legit. Get Daniel Jones at 161. Really nice fall. Taylor, Ken Walker, Jacobs, Coleman, Emmanuel Wilson. Very decent, but Jacobs at 32. I'm not taking him in the third. I'm taking him in the fourth or not at all. Jacobs in the third. I think today that's too early. Burden on this team, Harrison at pick 80. Why the fuck not? Yeah, take Harrison there for sure. Quentin Johnston at 89, very legit. Downs with Daniel Jones and Tyler Warren. You have a mega Daniel Jones stack at a huge discount. Damn. I just need to see the Alec Pierce drafter, Rocco, did not take Daniel Jones. Took Hunter Henry instead. And then he fell another round and a half after that. Damn. Daniel Jones at a good price. Okay. Antonio Williams at 113, though, is crazy. Jalen Coker, Ayuk, Chris Bell, Tyler Warren, and Greg Dulcich. I think you should have taken Casey Concepcion instead of Antonio Williams. I think that would have been a more reasonable decision. You do have Jaden Daniels, but you could have taken Antonio Williams a little bit later. A touch later. Dulcich, though, probably worthless. But who knows? In Miami, could have some volume. Some worthless volume. Okay. I don't have much time left. We're at 1 a.m., so I'm going to try and go quickly, but we'll take a look at everyone. John Tara goes Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dart, Scattaboo, Rico Dowdle, Aaron Jones, JCM, Singleton, Claiborne. Y'all know my take on JCM, but at 126, it's a little bit more palatable. Why not? That's probably the cheapest he'll be for a while. JSN, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams, double Devontae. Always good. Ricky Pearsall, Rashid Shaheed, Stribling, Mooney, and Fields. Did not get Purdy on this one, but it is what it is. Bowers and Gadsden. I sniped you on someone, right? I sniped you on Diggs, I believe. Yeah, you wanted Diggs. Pretty legit team. I mean, running back a little tricky with Jones and JCM. They're not my two favorites in those backfields at the price, but you also have Claiborne, and then you also have Singleton. I like Scattaboo Dowdle up top. Good luck with the Giants early in the season, but I think you'll be fine. Champ has Herbert and Goff. Always good with that. Travis, Kyron, Gainwell, Tracy. Pulled up Gainwell at 101. Very fair to do. B-Rob and James Conner, also very legit, especially if Conner goes to Green Bay. Amon-Ra Romadunze, Parker Washington, Juwan Jennings, Isaac Tesla, Ryan Flournoy, Kayshon Boutte, Malik Washington, and then Loveland and Ferguson. Yeah, receivers fucking weird. These are hard to trust. All five make me want to cringe, but it's solid. Would have liked more Herbert investment though. You took Herbert at 77, and then maybe you got sniped over and over again. But why not stack up Herbert? There's a lot of back stacks. Like even just Njoku is extremely affordable. But give me Trey Harris. Give me Brandon Thompson somewhere here. Like, really? You take Herbert and you never take a cheap Charger? That's my complaint on this team. Champ, I think you could have done better for our boy Herbert at 77. Cheese at the 104 with Lawrence, Stafford, and Penix. Take Swift, Warren, and Rashad. Woody Marks, Dylan Sampson, Mike Washington, Marshawn Lloyd. There's so many names here, you can't complain, but damn. Marshawn Lloyd, I think, is more valuable than even Woody Marks, Sampson, and Mike Washington right now. I don't like these three at all. Need the starter to go down, and in that scenario, there is upside for Sampson and Mike Washington. But at least with Lloyd, he could just be the starter. Puka, London, Wilson, Thomas, Worthy, Omar, Cooper, McBride, and Hawkinson. Receiver could be deeper. You only have 6. I think you should have 7 receivers, and one of these 3 running backs should be changed. But quarterback's not bad. Rare Penix sighting. Good luck. Jedi with Prescott, Baker, and Bryce. Brees, Bucky, Chuba, Corum, and Mason. Very risky, honestly. Very risky. Jamar, George, Pickens, Terry, Godwin, Shakir, McMillan, Tyreek. Pretty fair. Shakir, though, can keep falling. 142, fuck it. Yeah, 142, why not? Schultz, Otten, and Joku. Not bad. Spurs took Drake May. Never stacked him up. Other than Ramondre. Purdy is stacked up with Kittle. And then Tua stacked up with Bijan. Zachariah Branch took him early. Bijan, Jeremiah, Montgomery, Ramondre, Charbonnet. Good stopping at 5. Charbonnet could be worthless, but could be the guy down the stretch. Got to finish top 4, so not too bad. But wish there were more stacks. Definitely could use more stacks. Neighbors, JMO, Addison, Wandale, Branch, Judy, and Tank Dell. Pretty solid. And then Kittle, Kincaid, and AJ Barner. Needs a bit more correlation, but there's a path here. The Tua reach was really notable. Obviously, you pissed off Rocco with the Drake May selection, so someone was critical. Interesting team. Needs more stacks, for sure. But Rocco didn't let you have at least the Henry one. He has Bo Nix, Tyler Shuck, and Fernando Mendoza. Didn't take Daniel Jones. I think it was fair. I think it didn't matter ultimately not to have Daniel Jones. The team that got him, though, got him at a steal. Gibbs, Travion, Dobbins, Keaton Mitchell, Katron Allen. Pretty legit. Maybe the handcuffs hit, but up top should be good. Nico, AJ Brown, Waddle, Mekhi Lemon, Alec Pierce, Denzel Boston, Troy Franklin, Kelsey, Hunter Henry, Pat Frymuth. Honestly, yeah, I get why you're so frustrated. This team was setting up very nicely. And if Mekhi Lemon or Alec Pierce was swapped out for a Drake May, this would look really fucking nice. Yeah, bummer. I get it, man. I get the crash out. The 101 is actually kind of tough, man. Like, I actually don't really love the first 4 picks, but if I'm stuck with one, give me pick 2 or pick 3. Because at pick 4, you're in a weird spot early on for some odd tier breaks. If the room isn't generous, you have to reach consistently. And then at 101, just like pick 12, you're at the mercy of the board. But at least at pick 12, you're a bit more in the driver's seat on some of the value at quarterback. Like, you definitely have an option to take two quarterbacks at the 8-9 turn, but it's a lot more valuable at the 9-10 turn. And you're never like guaranteed to get someone like you did here, though, with Tyler Shuck. Like, if the room had boxed you out of Tyler Shuck, you might have been screwed. And I almost took him. I had Olave. I almost took Tyler Shuck as QB3, but I took Fannin instead at what Sladen says is a great price. I think I had to, but yeah, without Tyler Shuck, that team could be tricky. So, yeah, bummer on Drake May. I'd probably be pissed too. I think you have a very justified crash out. But P Punch says this room was unpredictable. The only thing that was predictable is that y'all hate the Browns. Y'all could not stop fading the Browns. Quinshawn, pick 60. Fannin, 109. Concepcion, 132. The Concepcion one, I think, is a blunder. The Fannin one, I understand. The Quinshawn one, I've seen happen many times. But the Concepcion at 132, that one could be fucking huge. Okay. Appreciate it, Fancy Dog. I tuned out the chat. We went on a big team review monologue. Had to lock in. This was a great room. Honestly, this was super fun. This one was really interesting. I like my team. I think I came out okay. But thank you, sir. I don't know what that word egregious means, but if it means thanks, it means terror. It means like so unjustified. It means like really, really not good. I don't think the Cardinals will throw the ball 50 times a game with the drafting of Love to justify Wilson's ADP. Yeah, the Cardinals feel like a big fade. The only one that I think is maybe okay is if you get McBride late third. But none of them feel good. Had 141 yards in one game last year, plus he's 6'3" or 4. Just saying. Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, here's the thing. Only one game. Only one game. And that was with Kyle Shanahan. I don't trust it. Nice drafting with you, Jedi. See ya, Fantasy Dog. Good night, good night. Thank you. John Tara says, yeah, my running back picks were bad value. Can't always bat 1,000. But thank you, Anthony, for hopping in. Thank you, King Calorie. Cheers to you as well. Appreciate you, Steven. It's great you do that for the house. Have a great night, sir. Cheers. I'm glad that you can find the silver lining. Rock Hard Castle. Stay positive, bro. Stay positive. It's all right. It's all right. After further review, that guy took May for the points rushing upside. Would have been better with a stack, though. All right. That's it. Peace out. Good night. Bye-bye.